I've always loved wheels. Anything with wheels is always attracted to me. But when I was 4 years old, I got a BMX bike at a garage sale. And then when I was 4.5, I somehow I convinced my mom through a series of trying to help her wash cars and massage her feet. I'm sure they weren't great massages. And so this was around 1982. And on the street I lived on in Santa Fe, BMX was huge in the early 80s. There were some older kids on my street. They had some Hutches and Red Lines, some PK Rippers. So they were out there every day after school. So when I'd come home after school, so that was a huge motivator, just seeing the cool big kids on their BMX bikes. It's probably what kind of originally fueled the fire. And then from there on, it was no looking back. It was bike central, whether it was BMX bike and then trials on road and then mountain once I was old enough to where I got. Once I had the actual ride, had my two wheels, I was able to get out there, and they took me under their wing. From there, it just kind of always stuck. Of course, you kind of get into the whole consumerism part, and you want bigger and better bikes, and kind of do that. But as you grow, of course, your skill level grows, and through middle school to where it developed into more of BMX, but then into mountain bikes and road bikes, and at a bike shop. There's a shop called Start to Finish, and so it was a natural interest thinking, well, I'd like to work at a bike shop. So originally, there was definitely no conception of ever thinking I'd ever be a boss, much less own a shop. I mean, maybe be a pipe dream, but didn't think it'd be a reality. So when I was 14 years old, I got a job at a bike shop. Probably before that, I was friends with Steve Potts and Greg Biber down at WTB, or it was basically Potts Cycles. They were building frames on Miller Avenue. So from there, I was kind of behind the scenes doing that whole thing, and then I was kind of getting into racing mountain bikes and racing road bikes. That was opening their doors, and I went there as an early interview before they opened, and I got the job. Built the service department with them, built the stamp. So that's how I kind of got my foot in the door. Kind of getting in there as a mechanic, experience, just kind of wrenching at home on my own bikes. And then from there, once you've had one job at a bike shop, then you can usually tend to get more jobs at a bike shop. You're going through, different parts, early 20s, going to college, different jobs. And then I worked for WTB again, and I was working behind the scenes and running their shipping department. At that point, I kind of was feeling going in circles here. I'm enjoying my life to a certain degree. Just try to sell myself to family members and anyone who I could think of who would have some money that I could save up some money. And so when I turned 25, I opened the shop when I was 25. It was kind of ignorance was bliss at that point. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I had no place for it. Like I said, ignorance was bliss. I didn't even know just one foot in front of the other. It's kind of one of those things where if you keep your momentum and just keep on doing it, the passion's always been there. Usually a bike shop will be a passion-driven business. Usually people are bikes first and then business second. You can pretty much do anything. So that's how the first store happened. It took me probably 5 months to build the store and opened, and right off the bat, it was a very successful store for the first few years. Got a little lazy with it. Ended up having to close the store after about 4 or 5 years, due to thinking I made it too soon. Made a lot of money, spent a lot of money. But here I am now, incarnation, which is finally, I think, the winning ticket. some credit. What? Every year that goes by,